Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. And today I'm going to talk about the two biggest reasons why a narcissist will eventually destroy themselves. And they do in time because you reap what you sow. And I'm going to give you two big reasons why this happens. Okay. I did a post about this where I talked about, in time, the narcissist destroys themselves because evil destroys itself. So let's jump right in and talk about why a narcissist will eventually destroy themselves. Number one, you guys, a big reason why a narcissist will destroy themselves is because they burn bridges, all right? They try not to. See, narcissists always want to have connections to other people. This is another big reason why they're nice to outsiders, because they always want to have, they're networkers. They're constantly networking for supply. So a lot of times when they're really nice to outsiders, it's for two reasons. One, they want to use these people in the future for something. And two, they may want to use them against you to show that they're the nice guy and that you're the monster, okay? So those are the big reasons why they're so nice to these other people. And also they're worried about their image, all right? But what happens with narcissists is they think that they could fool everybody. They think that they are clever. They think that they are smarter than everybody else. And this will be a way that they will destroy themselves, okay? Because they're going to eventually run into people that see them for who they are, that they can't play their games on. So, they may have a victim that they have been abusing for a long time, but when that victim starts to get educated and realizes, hey, this person is gaslighting me, hey, this person is blame shifting and putting everything on me, then what happens? Then that person is going to distance themselves and not want to have anything else to do with the narcissist. This happens all the time. So narcissists try not to burn bridges because they pretend to be there for people, but the reality is they're not there for people. And this is why most narcissists do not have close friends, because they're not there in the hard times. They're there on the surface, or they make promises that they never keep. There's your covert narcissist, by the way. They constantly make promises. Oh, if you need anything, give me a call, or I could help you out with that. And then comes the time you call them, they're not picking up their phone. They're ghosting you. And then they come back with an excuse. And what's that going to do? In the beginning, you may not see what they're doing, that they're playing you. But in time, when they repeat the same behaviors, you're going to say, oh, no, not today, Satan. This person is, not authentic. They make promises that they don't keep, all right? So what are you going to end up doing? You're going to end up not relying on that person. You're going to end up not trusting that person. And what does that do to the narcissist? They burn bridges. They burn bridges with people. And then in time, what happens is when a narcissist is not there for people, in time, people are not going to be there for the narcissist. And that's why narcissists end up alone. A lot of them end up alone later on in life because nobody wants to be bothered with them because they remember how the narcissist was not there for them. The only time a narcissist may have people around them later on in life is if they have money, okay? But those people will only be around the narcissist because of the narcissist's money. They want that money from that narcissist. So they burn bridges. And this happens to the narcissist with their exes. This is why a narcissist tries to keep branches out to their exes because they want to use them and rotate supply and come back to them. But in time, you guys, time is the factor. In time, people eventually see that this person is no good, that they are toxic, that they're a liar, that they're a manipulator, and they cut the narcissist off completely, okay? Now, I'm going to give you guys another example. Narcissists love long-distance relationships, and I'm going to tell you why. They love long-distance relationships because you can never, ever see what they're doing. You can't check them, right? So a narcissist could be in a full-blown relationship with somebody. They could be married, but they could also get their thrills out of having a long-term relationship with somebody else that thinks that the narcissist is single. Narcissists also love long-term relationships because they exhaust all their resources locally. In other words, they have prospected all the areas that they can meet resources, the gym, the bar, the local stores, anywhere that they frequent locally, and they run the gamut and they burn bridges with all of these people because they screw these people over, and then they burn bridges. So what does that narcissist have to do? They have to prospect for new supply that is not in their area because they've already burnt every bridge of supply in the area. So they got to look into other cities, okay? This is why narcissists love social media. It gives them accessibility to supplies in other cities. And especially when you're dealing with a broke, busted narcissist who's looking for a place to live, when they can't find somebody locally, then all of a sudden they're going to look, outside their city to see if they can move to a new city, jump off, have a new beginning. And you've got a lot of narcissists doing this, okay? They're love bombing people in other cities so that they could get to that city, use that person for a place to stay, to get themselves established and start a whole new life. And once they're on their feet, they're going to, leave that person, or they're going to try to take over wherever that person lives, all right? So, but what happens is, you guys, the bottom line is, once people start to see that, hey, this person isn't a nice person, hey, this person is manipulating me, this person is unaffectionate, they're not as loving as they were in the beginning, all of a sudden, the supply's eyes start to open up and they say, no, I don't want to be bothered with you anymore. No. See, not every ex will let a narcissist come back into their lives. A lot of people, this is why people go no contact, because they don't want that toxicity, that liar coming back into their life and wreaking havoc on them. So the narcissist loses supply. They're constantly looking for more and more supply because they're constantly losing more and more supply. And what happens is, as they get older, they can't get the supply the way they used to get their supply because they're older, all right? Their looks may fade. They may not have money. So things get tight. And what happens is a narcissist will eventually have a narcissistic collapse because they can't do what they used to be able to do. They can't get the supply that they used to be able to get. So they become angry, they become bitter, and they attack whoever is around them, okay? They are the target. Now, I'm going to go into the second reason why narcissists eventually destroy themselves. And this is the big one, all right? The second big reason why a narcissist will eventually destroy themselves is greed, okay? A narcissist is greedy. They have their number one, source of supply is usually money. They can get sex. We live in a hookup culture, you guys. So in general, they could get sex. It's not that, hard to get. It's the money is the big supply today. This is why on the dating apps, you have people looking for sex, but you also have the scammers on there that are looking for money, okay? And you have other narcissists that have plenty of sex going on, but they're looking for a supply of money. That's the big one. They want to jump off to somebody who could do something for them financially, set them up with a business, move into their house, somehow manipulate this person to give them money, all right? So you get this a lot when you get involved in an international relationship. And I've had a few clients that have had to deal with that, where the supply was trying to get money out of them, all right? And it could go the other way too, all right? So the thing is, the bottom line is the narcissist eventually will destroy themselves because they are greedy. Nothing is enough for the narcissist. They are never happy. They are never satisfied. Remember those two concepts. Never happy, never satisfied. Nothing is enough to fill the empty void within themselves. So no matter who they're with, a narcissist can marry somebody who has a lot of money, who gives them everything, and they'll still be unhappy. They will still be, they may be happy initially, okay? Because everything in the beginning is new and exciting, but they get tired of it and they expect more. See, because a narcissist is a deep-rooted, depressed person. And the problem is within themselves, okay? The problem is the unhappiness lies within themselves, not with whoever they're with, all right? But what they do is they project that unhappiness onto whoever they're with, and they blame these people that they are the cause of their unhappiness, when the reality is the cause of the unhappiness lies within themselves, because they feel less than, because they're very, very damaged, insecure individuals that never feel validated, never felt complete. A lot of it had to do with them, not feeling validated or, given love or felt safety as a child. A lot of it has to do with that, you guys. And so later on, they have that, they have that scar within themselves, that emptiness, that nothing is going to make them happy, nothing is going to satisfy them. So what happens with that? I'm going to tell you what happens. Again, they're going to burn relationships. Again, the narcissist is going to jump off to somebody else thinking the grass is greener, and they lose good people and they lose good resources. They lose a good thing because they're friggin' stupid, okay? They're stupid. They don't know when they're ahead of the 8 ball, okay? And this is how they destroy themselves, because they lose good supply. They lose good people thinking that the next one is going to be better, only to find it's not necessarily better. It could be worse. And then they try to come back and they lose that supply. They lose somebody that was going to help them, be there for them, be loyal, maybe help them financially. But because they are greedy, they lose that. They lose that, okay? The other way a narcissist is greedy is when you're dealing with a covert narcissist. Covert narcissists are thieves, flat out thieves, okay? And I've seen so many of them, I could sit here and tell you that they are thieves, that they will rob you if they feel they could get away with it, okay? So what happens to somebody like that? They eventually get caught. They eventually get caught. It's like a criminal, you guys. Think of it like this. A criminal could have a good run there. They could, they could rob for a while and never get caught. But the longer they're in the game, the higher the rate of them getting caught, okay? And they eventually do, because eventually they come across somebody who busts them, all right? It's like a cheater. A cheater could do well for a while and be cheating like crazy and have a good time for themselves. But eventually, what is in the darkness always comes into the light. And this is how these people end up losing, all right? It's like a gambler. The longer you're in the casino, the more you're going to lose money. That's why when you gamble, you hit it, get whatever money, and you get out of the casino. But see, other people that lose are people that win in the casino, and then eventually they put all the money back into the machines or on the tables, because that's the law of averages, to the point where the longer you're in it, the higher the chances of you losing. And the same with the narcissist. The more you lie, the higher the chances you're going to get caught. The more you manipulate people, the higher the chances people are going to start to see that you are not authentic. The more you blame shift people, the more people are going to start to say, I'm not the problem, you're always blaming me. The more you're going to show your hand and unmask yourself, the more toxic behaviors that you do. And this is exactly why a narcissist destroys themselves. Now, I just thought of another reason I'm going to throw in here, you guys, okay? I'm giving you a bonus as to why a narcissist will eventually destroy themselves. And this is another big one, all right? So it's actually 3 big reasons why narcissists destroy themselves. They burn bridges. They're very greedy, never satisfied, so they don't appreciate what they have and they lose good things. And also, I want to bring up one other thing with the fact of greed, all right? This also goes for people that are in marriages. They may have a good marriage, but the narcissist always wants excitement. So they may be on social media, in inbox. They may think they could get away with certain things. And what happens to that narcissist down the road? What do you think happens to that narcissist that is creeping on the side? Eventually they get caught, okay? They may be talking to somebody, misleading somebody, and that person may threaten to go to the narcissist partner and tell them everything that the narcissist is doing online or doing outside the marriage. And this is how these people get busted, from outsiders coming to the narcissist partner and actually exposing the narcissist, all right? So, you guys, the narcissist, what happens to them? How does that destroy them? Well, they end up in a divorce. They end up paying out thousands of dollars to attorneys, okay? They end up in a battle over their children. Their children end up, most of the time, the children will end up in time seeing that the narcissist is toxic unless the narcissist is poisoning those children's minds or giving those children a lot of gifts and money. So that's why the children are loyal to the narcissist, because the narcissist may be buying those kids in order to keep the relationship with them and to turn them against the other parent. But in general, the narcissist loses a good marriage. Now they're broken up and now they got to start all over. Maybe they got to co-parent with somebody. They got to pay out all these legal fees. And a lot of times they have children that can't stand them and hate them, all right? So they lose in that aspect. They have broken marriages. They may be married from one to the other to the other. They have all these children all over the place, all right? And they have no sense of family. There's resentment going on, all right? And there's guilt tripping. And the narcissist is now feeling guilty because they broke up the family. And narcissists do feel guilty, but they'll never, ever let you know that, okay? And I know that for a fact because I've seen that numerous times. They do feel guilt, but they will never, ever let you know that, all right? You could tell it by their actions when they feel guilty, okay? I'll give you an example, like a narcissist who's not there for their kids, they may feel guilty and give the kid money from time to time so that they could alleviate the fact that they're not there for their children, but they could always say, oh, I did this for my kid, even though they're not there for them physically or emotionally, all right? Because narcissists love to give money as a form of love instead of having to put themselves out, sacrifice, and do something they don't want to do, like be there for a kid or hang out on a playground or go to a doctor or anything like that, or do homework, any of that. They don't want to do the hard stuff. So here's a few dollars. Now I'm a great parent, okay? So the marriage breaks up, all right? And the narcissist loses. They lose their families. They lose these relationships, and the narcissist is just going to bounce from supply to supply to supply to supply, and their life becomes a mess, all right? How do I know? Because I've seen it, all right? So, you guys, the last way that a narcissist destroys themselves, all right, and this is another big one, is because they don't take care of their health. Narcissists are reckless. They're constantly running. They're constantly looking for excitement. A lot of them are very promiscuous. So what happens to them? They end up getting sick, okay? See, in my opinion, God repays evil with sickness, all right? And I've seen that. I've seen that with people I never thought would happen would get sick. They ended up getting sick, all right? So I'm not saying people that get sick are a narcissist. So all the trolls that want to come at me that way, you're reading it wrong, okay? I'm saying that a lot of narcissists end up getting sick and destroying themselves because they abuse their bodies. A lot of them don't get sleep. And I've seen this in numerous narcissists where they'd be falling asleep on the couch because they're seeing other supply, they're not getting the rest in, and it wears down on their bodies. It wears down on their bodies. Some of them get sleep apnea, okay? Some of them have digestive issues. Some of them have high blood pressure. You know, they have a lot of ailments going on because they abuse their bodies. A lot of them get STDs. You know, you got to be careful if you get involved with a narcissist because they're promiscuous and they're going to bring that STD to you, all right? Whoever they're sleeping with, if you sleep with them, you could end up getting an STD or HIV, all right? So you got to be careful who you sleep with, you guys, because when you know you're dealing with a narcissist, 9 times out of 10, you know that they're promiscuous. So they abuse their bodies, and their bodies eventually, all that abuse gets stored in the body and it starts to break down. The other way they abuse their bodies is that they don't, you know, when they see something's not right, they don't get themselves checked out until later on in life. Then they become a hypochondriac, all right? When anything goes wrong, now they're trying to preserve themselves. But when they're younger, they abuse their bodies. They run themselves down to the ground. They don't take care of themselves. And later on, they pay for it, okay? I'm telling you, every narcissist I know, almost every narcissist I know has some kind of ailment going on because they abuse their bodies. They didn't take care of themselves. They're stress-filled people, all right? And all of that stress, they will project onto others and kill other people with that toxicity. That cortisol level will go up in you if you're around a narcissist, a toxic person that's filled with anxiety and stress. And that's how they will destroy themselves, you guys. So let me recap. The 3 biggest ways a narcissist eventually destroys themselves: burns bridges, they lose connections, lose supplies. Nobody wants to be bothered with them because they realize the narcissist is a $9 bill. What does that mean? In street terms, they're a fake, they're a phony, they're not somebody you could rely on. The narcissist is a $9 bill, and real won't be bothered with a fake, phony narcissist. So they'll lose those connections. They'll burn those bridges. That's number 1, okay? Another way that the narcissist destroys themselves is that they're greedy. And when you're greedy is when you get busted, okay? And that's exactly what happens to a narcissist. A greedy narcissist will get busted stealing. They'll get busted cheating. They'll get busted for money or something like that. They'll get busted lying because they're greedy. They overstep themselves. So a person that oversteps themselves is eventually going to get caught. And that's exactly what happens to the narcissist. And number 3 reason why they destroy themselves is because they abuse their bodies. Their body is not a temple. Their body is a destruction, and it will destroy them because they don't cherish their body. It's not a temple of God. It's a temple of, disgustingness, all right? And they abuse it because they run themselves into the ground. They don't get enough sleep. They don't take care of themselves. A lot of them are drinking, drugging, and doing everything, like that. And that's going to abuse their body because they need those kind of intense gratification that they love to, nullify themselves and feel good because they're a miserable person. So they're always looking to make themselves feel good with drugs, alcohol, sleeping around, all right? Eventually, that is going to destroy your body. All of that abuse on your body is eventually going to kick back on you when you get older. And some of them, it doesn't even wait till they're older. I've seen narcissists that weren't that old that got sick. And I'm like, I can't even believe this person got sick. I can't even believe this person got a heart attack or something like that. And they're still relatively young. And why? Because they abuse their bodies, all right? They were out, maybe drinking, eating, doing drugs, or just running themselves physically to the ground. It's going to destroy them. And then all of a sudden, you know what happens? You get a disabled or a narcissist with health issues that tries to humble themselves. Fake humility. This is when they'll try to humble themselves, if at all. And that's when they could be nice, is when they're down. But when they come up again and they're feeling better, or health-wise they're feeling better, that's when they become wicked again, all right? So don't be fooled when a narcissist is nice to you when they're down, because it's only because they're down, all right? And they may need somebody, or they're feeling down. But when that narcissist is up again and feeling strong and feeling independent, they're going to be wicked as hell. And I've seen this, okay? Everything that I tell you guys, I have experienced. And people come on my post and they say, oh, she's spot on again. She's spot on. You know why I'm spot on? Because I have actually lived and seen all of this. This is why I could tell you this from the top of my head, and it comes out so easily for me. People that have never lived it would not know all these things, all right? So this is what I'm giving to you guys, real life experience that you can't read in a textbook, that you can't hear about from somebody else. You can only hear about it from somebody who actually experienced it, all right? So I hope that helps you guys. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast. If you're looking for confidential one-on-one phone coaching, maybe you don't know if you're dealing with a narcissist. Maybe you don't know how to handle this person and you need some clarity. Check out the link in the bio at askyaz.wixsite.com. If you're looking for a lot more videos on covert narcissists, discard, reverse discard, manipulation, check out my YouTube where I got almost 5,000 videos talking about all of this at the Game Exposed podcast on YouTube. For more reels, more posts, check out my Facebook, Instagram at the Game EXP123, and TikTok is the Game Exposed. And have a great day, you guys.